I had my one friend, he suggested that to have a midseason tournament and the prize for it would be a draft pick somewhere maybe around pick number like 40. He said if you're team 21 through 30 in the standings, you would get like he said something crazy, like the 14th pick. So he said standings would play into it. And then if you were a team 11 through 20, you would get the 40th pick. And then like 1 through 10 would get the 60th pick.
Bro.
But I would be interested
as
in a
Pelicans
midseason tournament.
I'd love that as a Pelicans fan.
I think it'd be cool.
Give us something we can win.
I think it'd be cool. If you have to, of course, incentivize it. But if you what do you think like the right prize would be pick wise? Because you can't go too far. That's the problem. But if you give out a pick that's like number 31, like pick number 31, like basically an extra first round pick, like end of first round pick, like that pick becomes valuable come trade deadline. If it's instantly tradable, boom, you could trade that. That would make that tournament exciting.
I think a tournament between the 4 worst teams in the NBA potentially for like the number 1 pick or would potentially be interesting, but it is interesting. I can't come up with any good incentives. That's off the top of my head.
I think a pick would be interesting. I don't know what other incentive you could really give. I guess obviously money. You could just have the players make more money.
It would, if they could figure out a way to do that though, where like you get all the worst teams in the NBA and the prize is playing for the number 1 overall pick, which this is just me living in a fantasy world. I don't think it sounds tangible at all, but that would completely shake up the way things are done in the NBA. Tanking teams no longer... Yeah, tanking teams can't fully tank anymore because you could tank, but you want to be good enough to win the number 1 pick in the tournament.
Think of the mindset though of like, okay, here's the problem is that you have to think of the mindset. There'd be so much politics going on in the players' own heads. Like for instance, let's say you're like a 22-year-old small forward and you just average like 12 points a game, okay? And you're good, you're promising. You're in your second or third season, and the number 1 pick is a small forward, and so you're now playing for like, oh, if I win, like if our team wins, we get that guy that's taking my position, and now I don't know what's going on with me. Or if you do that with a point guard or something, or if you think of what is the motivation for a guy who's like 33 years old and he's just a veteran, like I don't know. The games would be, in an ideal world, that would be really cool, but it'd be interesting to see guys' motivations for playing and how much they're really going to give for bonus games.
Yeah, again, it is just a absolute fantasy of mine.
Maybe attach a cash prize at the end of that. Everyone gets an extra $1 million. Imagine that. You get first pick. Every player gets, maybe $1 million's too much, but...
they could probably like revenue share, like give a percentage of the
I'm sure there's
additional
some
revenue
cash
received.
amount that would be worth it. Yeah.